world will break you, not because it's evil, not because it hates you, but because it's indifferent to your kindness. And indifference is far more dangerous than cruelty. You think being a good person protects you. You think fairness matters. You think if you just work hard enough, stay loyal enough, trust deeply enough, that somehow the universe will reward you for your virtue. But here's what nobody tells you until it's too late. The world doesn't care about your intentions. It only responds to power. And if you don't learn to become ruthless, strategically and intelligently ruthless, you will spend your entire life being used by people who figured this out long before you did. This isn't a comfortable truth. Most people spend decades running from it. They'd rather believe in fairy tales about karma and justice than face the cold reality that Niccolo Machiavelli understood 500 years ago. The people who win aren't the most moral. They're the most strategic, the most willing to make hard decisions, the most capable of detaching from their need to be liked. And right now, if you've ever felt like you're the only one playing by the rules while everyone else cheats and still wins, you need to hear this. Let me tell you about a man I'll call David. Good guy, genuinely good. The kind of person who stays late at work without being asked, who remembers his co-workers' birthdays, who covers for people when they're struggling. For 3 years, David put his head down and worked harder than anyone else at his company. He believed the story he'd been told his entire life. Work hard, be loyal, and you'll be rewarded. Then a position opened up, the promotion he'd been quietly working toward for years. David assumed it was his. His manager had practically promised him as much, he'd earned it. Everyone knew it, but the job went to Marcus. Marcus, who showed up late. Marcus, who spent more time networking at company events than actually working. Marcus, who knew how to make himself visible to the right people. Marcus, who understood something David didn't. That competence without political awareness is just expensive labor. David was devastated. He went to his manager and asked what happened. The manager gave him vague feedback about leadership presence and strategic thinking. Translation: you're too useful where you are, and you're too nice to be dangerous. Marcus made power moves. You made yourself indispensable at the bottom. 6 months later, David was training Marcus on systems he'd built. This story repeats itself every single day. In offices, in relationships, in friendships. Good people get passed over, used up, and discarded, not because they lack talent, but because they lack ruthlessness. And this is where Machiavelli comes in. Machiavelli wrote, "The Prince not as a celebration of evil, but as a manual for survival in a world that punishes weakness." He looked at power without the lens of morality and asked a simple question: what actually works? Not what should work, not what we wish worked, what works? And what he found was uncomfortable. He found that the leaders who survived weren't the kindest. They were the ones willing to do what others wouldn't. They were the ones who understood that reputation matters more than reality, that appearing strong is sometimes more important than being strong, that loyalty is a currency, not a virtue, and you should never give it away for free. Most people hear this and recoil. They think ruthlessness means becoming a monster, lying, manipulating, hurting people for sport. But that's not what Machiavelli taught. He taught strategic self-interest. He taught that in a world where others will take advantage of you, you have a responsibility to protect yourself, and protection requires power. Let me break this down into 5 principles. 5 shifts in thinking that separate the people who get broken by the world from the people who shape it. First principle: trust actions, not words. People will tell you anything. They'll promise loyalty. They'll swear they have your back. They'll say you're family. But words are cheap. They cost nothing. What people do when there's no benefit to them, when it's inconvenient, when it's risky, that's the truth. David trusted his manager's words. Marcus watched his manager's actions. Marcus saw who got promoted before. He saw what behaviors got rewarded, and he mirrored them. Stop listening to what people say. Start watching what they do, especially when they think you're not paying attention. Second principle: keep your cards hidden. The moment people know what you want, they have leverage over you. They know what to dangle in front of you. They know what to withhold. They know how to manipulate you. David made his ambitions obvious. Everyone knew he wanted that promotion. So when the decision came down, his manager knew David would stay. Even if passed over, David had already shown his hand. He was loyal. He was dedicated. He wasn't going anywhere. Marcus kept people guessing. He interviewed at other companies. He let it slip that he had options. He made himself seem like a flight risk. And when promotion time came, the company moved fast to lock him down. Never let people see your full hand. Never let them feel secure in your loyalty. The moment you become predictable, you become controllable. Third principle: never show full loyalty to anyone who hasn't earned it repeatedly. Loyalty is beautiful. It's one of the most valuable traits a human being can have, but loyalty to people who don't reciprocate is self-destruction. It's not noble. It's not virtuous. It's just naive. David gave his company 3 years of unquestioned loyalty, and the company repaid him by choosing someone more politically savvy. Here's the truth. Your loyalty should be proportional to what someone has actually done for you, not what they've said, not what you hope they'll do, what they've proven through repeated action over time. Until someone earns deep loyalty, keep yours conditional. Stay ready to walk away. Stay ready to prioritize yourself. Because the people at the top, the ones making decisions about your life, their loyalty to you is always conditional. Why should yours be any different? Fourth principle: let others reveal themselves first. Speak less. Ask more. Watch more. The person who talks first shows their position. The person who stays quiet learns everyone else's in negotiations, in conflicts, in relationships. Silence is power. David always jumped in with solutions, always offered help, always showed his cards immediately. Marcus listened. He waited. He let other people commit to positions before he showed his. This isn't about being manipulative, it's about being smart. When you rush to fill silence, when you rush to prove yourself, when you rush to show your value, you give away information for free. And information is leverage. Learn to be comfortable in silence. Learn to ask questions and then shut up. Learn to let other people feel the pressure to explain themselves while you simply observe. Fifth principle: detach from the need to be liked. This is the hardest one. Because we're social creatures. We want belonging. We want approval. We want people to see us as good. But the need to be liked is a leash. It controls you. It makes you easy to manipulate. It makes you swallow disrespect to keep the peace. It makes you sacrifice your own interests to avoid disappointing others. David needed to be liked. He needed to be seen as the good guy, so he never pushed back, never made demands, never created friction. And because he was so easy to deal with, he was easy to overlook. Marcus didn't care if people liked him, he cared if they respected him. And respect comes from boundaries, from standing firm, from being willing to walk away. You don't have to be cruel, you don't have to be an asshole, but you have to be willing to disappoint people when your interests conflict with theirs. The moment you stop needing to be liked, you become very difficult to control. Now I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds cold. This sounds like I'm telling you to become everything you hate. But here's where the Stoics come in. Here's where wisdom balances ruthlessness. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's great Stoic philosophers, was also a Roman emperor, a man of absolute power, and he understood something crucial. Ruthlessness without wisdom becomes cruelty, but wisdom without ruthlessness becomes victimhood. The goal isn't to hurt people. The goal is to protect yourself in a world that will absolutely hurt you if you're not careful. Stoicism teaches you to control your inner world, to detach from outcomes, to accept what you cannot change. But it also teaches you to act with virtue within the reality you're given. And the reality is this: you live in a world where some people will take advantage of your goodness, where trust is often betrayed, where fairness is not guaranteed. Being ruthless doesn't mean being heartless. It means being strategic. It means protecting your energy, your time, your loyalty, and your trust like the valuable resources they are. It means building a fortress around your inner peace and only letting in people who've proven they won't destroy it. You can still be kind, you can still be generous, you can still help people, but you do it from a position of strength, not weakness. You do it because you choose to, not because you're afraid of what happens if you don't. So here's what I want you to do. For the next 48 hours, practice strategic ruthlessness, not cruelty. Strategy. First, practice silence. The next time someone asks you something personal, something about your plans or your feelings or your intentions, pause. Count to 3. Then give them less information than you normally would. Watch what it feels like to keep your cards closer. Second, test someone's loyalty. Not in a manipulative way, but pull back slightly from someone you've been giving a lot to. Don't initiate. Don't reach out first. Don't offer help before being asked. See what happens. See if they notice. See if they reciprocate the energy you've been giving. Third, set one boundary you've been avoiding. With a coworker, with a friend, with a family member. Say no to something you'd normally say yes to. Not to be difficult. but to practice valuing your own time and energy as much as you value theirs. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. This is about becoming someone who can't be easily broken. Because the world will test you, it will push on your boundaries, it will take what you freely give and ask for more. And if you don't learn to push back, if you don't learn to be strategically ruthless in protecting what matters, you'll wake up one day and realize you've been living for everyone except yourself. Machiavelli wasn't teaching evil. He was teaching survival. He was teaching that in a world where others will use force, strategy, and cunning, you can't afford to be the only one operating on pure goodness. You'll be surrounded by people who respect power, and you'll wonder why your kindness bought you nothing. But when you combine Machiavellian awareness with Stoic discipline, something powerful happens. You become unshakable. You see the game clearly. You protect yourself effectively, but you don't lose yourself in the process. You don't become the monster. You become the man who can't be played, and that's freedom. So ask yourself right now, who in your life has been taking more than they give? Who have you been loyal to without reciprocation? Where have you been showing all your cards and wondering why you keep losing? This isn't about cutting everyone off. This is about waking up. The world will break you unless you become ruthless, not cruel, not heartless, but strategically, intelligently, protectively, ruthless. Build your fortress, guard your gates, and only let in those who've earned the right to be there. If this hit you somewhere deep, if you've felt the pain of being too good in a world that punishes it, do me a favor. Leave a comment and tell me about one time your kindness cost you something real. One moment where you realized the game wasn't fair. Because I read every single one, and I want to know I'm not alone in seeing this clearly. Hit that subscribe button if you want more truth that most people are too afraid to say out loud, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who's still playing by rules that nobody else follows. This is Dark Psyche, where silence becomes strength.